comments on what we're offering at Diverse, and then afterwards any questions you can shoot away. Okay, so my name is Dean Murphy. I'm an electrical contractor. My business that I've got on the cards over there was CNR Electrical. That was just my electrical business, but I've partnered up with Jake Barnett, who's my business partner. He's come here once. He's not a real talking guy, so he's not going to come again. But he'll help you out if we ever do any referral work or anything like that. So I'll talk about this in the second half. But I started being an electrician. I was a professional rugby league player, signed from school. Unfortunately, when you're a professional, which I didn't realise at the time, there's two sides to a contract. And I thought once you're in the system, you don't really have to live up to your side. And it turns out you do. So I was let go. That's another story. At that time, I was probably considered hot property as a young kid. So I got picked up by a lower level rugby league side. In turn with that, I needed a job. So they said, would you like to be an electrician? I said, well, yeah, I'm going to be a footy player, so what do I need that for? But I'll do it on the side anyway. So they put me with a guy. We were just a one-man band, and we were going around putting in, installing split air conditioners, but just being electricians mostly. But most of our work was ACs. But he wasn't a refrigeration mechanic. He was just an just an electrician doing the aircon stuff. So he was quite a character. Every day, the deal was the footy club would pay for my work, and he would just put me through. But he'd buy me smoko. That was his thing. So he loved Chinese. So every day was Chinese. Every day. So one day I got food poisoning from Chinese. Got it back then as well. Didn't have anything to eat that whole night. Went home. Said, Mum, I'm cooked. Whatever. I'll go to work tomorrow. So I went back the next day. I said, what are we going to have for smoko? And he said, we're having Chinese. So I had Chinese again. Anyway, that's it. Anyway, so as you can imagine, it's a bit like bit of a funny, bit of a knock around, enjoyable environment. So to keep going in my electrical apprenticeship, I needed some more experience. So I had to get away from just installing split air conditioners. So I went over to work in the commercial side. Worked in the commercial side for a few years on and off. Obviously, because I was playing rugby league at the time, I'd always get injured and all that sort of thing. So I had a few bad injuries, tore my pec major off my humerus, which was like a 6 months downtime, tore my distal tendon off. I came back, played one game, tore that off. So I had a lot of time off work. In that period that I had time off work, I became a mortgage broker, like a Cert 3 mortgage broker. I thought, how good's this? I'll be a mortgage broker. And then I realised that I'd have to start at the beginning again. So I went, I'll just go back to being an electrician. How am I going for time, Campbell?
That's 3 minutes.
Yeah, cool.
Yep.
I'll still got another 2 minutes
Yep.
myself.
All good.
So then I went into the commercial environment, which I thought was just great, like EBA jobs, like going to, we built the Gold Coast Hospital, which was pretty much go to work to eat your lunch. It was great. I was standing up at the plan desk all the time, not really do much. So as you can tell right now, I didn't really like work, I didn't really like being an electrician. I thought, this is shit. I should have been a rugby league player. How am I going? My ego was like, deflated at that time. So I thought, what am I going to do? That finished up, and there wasn't many other EBA jobs on the Gold Coast. So my brother's also an electrician, so I partnered up with him, which didn't work out to be very, very, very well because we both sort of clashed and we're both sort of the same type of person. And we went into the NBN project, which was a complete disaster. So the NBN, I don't know if you know, wasn't very well run at all. The government it was very terrible. The contractors that they employed did not pay us. Like, it was just one of the worst things I was ever involved with. A lot of stress. I just had a baby. I was away working. My wife. It just didn't work out. So I got out of that and went into smart meter installation. So I became a contractor, and then I broke away. My brother and I split up, which I learned a few things about partnerships and that sort of stuff, which I'm taking now into Jake. So we've gone into hanging smart meter installation. There's a lot of tinfoil hat people out there, so like they think that smart meters can give you cancer and that sort of thing. That's not. Well, in my belief, that's not true. It probably does produce some EMF, but no more than your mobile phone that you sleep beside your bed with anyway. So we did that. I was travelled from all around the countryside, went down to Orange and went everywhere, always on the promise of installing smart meters on the Gold Coast. Again, there was a bit of a conflict with my with working away and having a young child, and I sort of had to get out of that. So I thought, what am I going to do? I really want to work on the Gold Coast. I what did I have the most fun doing? And I thought back to when I worked with my first boss, and I used to eat Chinese every day. And I went, I'm gonna go into split installation. And so I went and got my split installation course, and met up with Jake. He was actually living in my street, and he's a refrigeration mechanic. So he sort of said, "Oh look, I heard you throwing in splitties because we ended up playing footy together." And he said, "I thought we'll just combine, so to make people more secure that they're getting a good product with the refrigeration backing, and then I'm also doing the electrical at the same time, so that's good, So we started up together to fully, encompass and make sure we're doing it right. So while I've done that, I've talked to a couple of other mentors that I've got, like other older electricians, and they advise me, you should probably get your solar as well, so then you can just do the whole package. So that's where we've come to now. Jake and I have finally, we've worked together for about 3 years, we've finally, he was called Diverse Air Conditioning and Refrigeration, and I was CNR Electrical. Don't worry about CNR Electrical, that'll always be in the background, but now it's Diverse Air Conditioning and Electrical. So what we've got going now, we've worked with a couple of builders, so probably a few more than a couple now, so we've got a couple of sites going. So we'll go into site. Obviously when you've got electrical, air conditioning and solar, if you choose 3 different types of trades and they all go into one, there's the organisation costs, material costs and labour costs for all those different 3. So if we can encompass the whole thing into one job, if you let us have the whole thing, we quote it up, do it for you, we can save on labour, save on material price, obviously because you're getting more, we're doing more, and then organisation, we're already there. So we've got a few of those going at the moment. We're working in quite well. What else? How long have we been?
Sorry, Dean.
3 minutes to go.
Say those 3 specialties again.
We encompass as a company all electrical facets like automation, all that sort of stuff. Like just your regular general light and power, like TV, cabling, communications. Also air conditioning, all air conditioning, all refrigeration, and solar as well. Solar's coming in, energy efficiency, and we're working on batteries. Which batteries aren't really, to tell you the truth, aren't really that efficient yet. So when the price comes down, it'll probably be more of a chance to do it in future. At the moment, you probably never pay off the amount that you buy the battery for until later on. All the inverters now for solar are compatible, so you can use batteries in the future. So if you do install one and the inverter lasts that long, you'll be able to sort it out with the battery. The solar industry is quite sales driven. There are a lot of dodgy people out there, so just a warning to you guys, if you do, you're better off ask us, or I'll give you a free opinion on it, or any quote anytime, but you can't be sucked in by salesmen that will take advantage of you and just sell you anything just to get the sale. So yeah, they're not actually qualified, they just have a program that they go off, and then they'll use the contractor who turns up there, which will often be wrong, and then they'll make them sign it all over. So yeah. It's just wrong direction, and there's a lot in it. It's very technical, so yeah, that'd be just my advice to do that. A fun fact about myself, which is Elvis was a electrician. He worked as drove a truck, and he was also a twin, but his twin died at birth. And I was a twin that died at birth, and I'm an electrician, so I'll be pretty close to Elvis. I don't know what it is, but I think it could be a book.
A little less conversation, you won't miss it.
Yeah, I do. It's just red though, I think. It's just red in the winter, so yeah.
I must be related too, because I'm a twin as well.
Well, there you go. Does anyone have any questions?
Yes.
You do commercial, sorry. You do commercial refrigeration?
Yes, Jake does, but I try to stay away from commercial projects as much as we can, but we will in certain fashions, just due to the fact of non-payment and builders you'll be quite wary of. So we do target mostly the domestic market, but we will do small commercial projects, or we worked in commercial last year. It's just not to be forward or rude. Often, a lot of those big builders, it's a good way to go broke working for them. You know, back charging and all that sort of
What I
stuff.
meant was like hotels, clubs, restaurants.
Yeah, that sort of stuff. Yeah, refrigeration.
Yeah.
For sure. That's that
Yeah,
bread and
no.
butter for him, for Jake as a refrigeration mechanic. Yeah, he loves that. So yeah, we got quite a few large houses and that sort of stuff we're doing at the moment. So that's borderline commercial and residential.